Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin with Mr. Tony Reid in the studio. Hi, Tony.
Honglin, what is going on? And hello to all of our listeners out there.
Exactly. Hello to all of you out there. And I heard a little something about you that you've stayed up a little bit late last night editing a video.
Yes, we talked a little bit about how I been spending a lot of time editing videos because I think it's kind of cool doing what we do. I mean, making audio productions is one thing, but being able to put some visuals behind it, I think leaves more of a mark.
Yes, that is really cool. And I have to admit, though I produce a lot of videos myself, I'm not really a good video editor. I mean, all the professional ones are done by someone else in the team, and I can only do the really easy ones.
Okay.
And I feel like video editing is kind of like magic. You create the rhythm, you create the tempo, you create the atmosphere by adding the background music, by adding some sound effects, and it changes from the raw material to something that looks really cool.
Yeah, you use the word magic. I wouldn't really call it or any kind of mysticism there. I think that it's just work. As you mentioned, the background music, and then, of course, the video footage and selecting which video footage you're going to use. And all of that, it's work and it's time.
And it's magic, in my opinion.
How do you say a lot of work in Chinese?
很多工作
很多工作
A lot of work.
Write that down.
Yeah. And apparently for today's episode, we have got video editing as the theme. So I'll share with you how to say that in Chinese first. That's 视频剪辑
视频
剪辑
剪辑
视频 is video. So we've got 视 means you can look at it. It has something to do with, for example, 电视. 电视 is the TV.
Yeah.
It's related to electric, and you can take a look at it, you can watch it. So 电视, that's the TV. 视 has something to do with visual. 视频, video clip. And we've got 音频, that's audio clip. So there's that. And 剪 carries the meaning of cut.
Okay.
辑, 编辑, putting together. So 剪辑 editing.
I think most people know a little bit about this because so many people, even if you don't do professionally, a lot of us make videos on our phones and stuff. So.
Yeah, and there are a lot of cool and easy to use apps. I feel like I can call some of my apps that I use apps for dummies. I can use them quite well to do some really simple videos, but I'll leave the professional ones to the professionals.
How do you say apps in Chinese?
Oh, you will be surprised.
Is it APP?
Most people would say APP.
Oh my goodness. Okay, got it.
But of course, you can call them 应用程序.
APP.
You see, that's what I thought. It's nice that with the globalization of our globe, we are using more and more words and vocabularies that are right there. You do not really have to translate them sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 哇，这个特效是怎么做的？看起来很复杂。
其实并不麻烦，只需要下载一个插件，再自己调整一下参数就可以了。
那怎么能让这里的声音听起来更自然一些呢？
可以加入淡入和淡出效果，这样就不会显得很突兀了。
哇， 这个特效是怎么做的？看起来很复杂。
其实并不麻烦，只需要下载一个插件，再自己调整一下参数就可以了。
那怎么能让这里的声音听起来更自然一些呢？
可以加入淡入和淡出效果，这样就不会显得很突兀了。
Yeah, this is something that I think I relate to a lot. And as I mentioned earlier, lots of people are making videos, so this should be really useful.
And I remember previously, like a year or 2 years ago, when you started learning some more techniques about editing, you were asking one of the professional editors in the office, and you guys were communicating. And of course, she knows a little bit English, but it will come in handy if you know these words back then, and you can use Chinese to ask her how to, let's say, make it sound more natural and how to fade in, fade out.
Yes, it would be very
有用, useful. So for our listeners out there, if you want to learn these techniques in Chinese, perhaps today's episode would help you.
Yeah, pay attention.
Pay attention. So for the first sentence, 哇，这个特效是怎么做的？看起来很复杂。
So this is, wow, how did you create this special effect? It looks very complicated. So, wah is wow.
Wow.
这个, this is like this, right? 特效, I think this 特效 is special effect, yeah?
Yes, so 特 stands for 特殊, special. 效果, effect. So you put them together, you've got 特效, special effect.
Okay. Sure, and this is, I think this is here. And then 怎么, I think this is like how.
How.
And then 做的, like did.
Yes.
Like how did.
How did. That's really easy and useful. You can say 这道菜是怎么做的? How did you make this dish? It tastes really good.
Say that again.
这道菜, this dish, or 这盘菜, this dish, 怎么做的?
The 泡, what is this?
盘.
Oh, 盘.
盘 is the dish, the physical dish.
Okay.
And 菜 is, the meal, the food. So 一盘菜 would be a dish of dish. If you
one dish.
Yes, one dish.
这个菜, we can't say that.
You can say 这个菜. People would understand. It's not sophisticated, but people will understand. And I would also ask Tony, 这个蛋糕是怎么做的？真好吃。
蛋糕, this is
蛋糕,
cake.
yes.
Yeah?
Because he is a baker, and I'm sharing this information with you guys out there. He's a baker, and he would always bring many of his masterpieces to the office, and they taste amazing. And I would ask, 这个蛋糕是怎么做的? How did you make that?
I would say I experimented a lot.
See, 怎么做的? Very useful.
怎么做的? Yeah, this is very useful. Thank you so much.
And then we have 看起来很复杂.
Okay, it looks very complicated. So 看起来, as we've spoke on before, means looks like. Yeah. And then 很 is, of course, very, and then 复杂.
复杂
is complicated.
Complicated.
Different from 困难.
困难 is difficult. So 困 carries the meaning of you've stuck in something, and 难 is something that is hard to do. So 困难 is hard and complicated. I mean, of course, it carries the meaning of complicated because it's complicated, so you cannot do it really easily.
Right.
Whereas 复杂, 复 carries the meaning of more than one, so many. And 杂 is like various with different kinds. So 复杂 is the kind of task that requires a lot of patience, that requires you to be careful, but it's not necessarily that hard to tackle. So both 复杂
complex. Complex sounds like it's got a lot of variables.
Exactly. Although 复杂 and 困难 can both be translated to complicated or, like you said, complex or difficult in different contexts, there is this slight
Subtle difference.
Yeah, right there. 复杂 complex. 其实并不麻烦。只需要下载一个插件，再自己调整一下参数就可以了。
It wasn't that much work actually. All I needed to do was download a plugin and adjust the parameters. So, 其实, this is actually, or in fact, okay. And then 冰, okay, this is obviously not snow or ice. So,
no.
I think this is
actually a language tip right here, because this is the word we use to stress a certain tone in the sentence, and usually it is used to stress a negative kind of tone. We say 并不 or 并没有, not really. And because we're emphasizing the negation, 并 is often used when expressing disagreement or pointing out a flaw in someone's argument.
okay.
So here we've got 并不麻烦, not really troublesome. So 并不 no, and 麻烦 troublesome, 并不麻烦. It's not that troublesome, it's not that much work. For example, I can say 我并没有熬夜，为什么现在这么困？
I didn't stay up late.
Yes.
And then you said sleepy, so why
am I so sleepy?
Why am I
Exactly. So the idea is you use this word to emphasize. It's kind of like saying, I didn't stay up late last night. And instead of saying didn't using that tone, you say 并不 instead of just 不.
Okay,
or
so
just 没有.
It's just an emphasis word.
Emphasis word. You can also say 我并没有迟到，你为什么要凶我?
I wasn't late. But the second part, I don't know.
The second part is, why are you being so mean to me? Why are you shouting at me? It's not like I'm late. It's something like that.
It's probably another reason.
And also there is 创业并不容易，有很多的挑战。
So this is starting a business really isn't easy. There are a lot of challenges, yeah?
Yes, like you said, you can translate it as really isn't something or really didn't do something. That's how you use 并 and 并不 or 并没有. That's the sentence structure.
Okay, so you normally use it only with these
negative.
These negative. Okay, got it.
只需要下载一个软件，再自己调整一下参数就可以了。
This is all I needed to do was download a plugin and adjust the parameters. And so, 只, this is only.
Only.
Yeah, and then 需要 is need. And then 下载.
下载.
下载. I think this is the download, right?
Yes. 下 means
down.
Down, and 载 is carry. So download.
Okay. And then 一个 is one. And then 插件, I think that's a plugin.
Actually, I learned something today. I didn't used to know 插件 should be translated to plug in English, because 插 is exactly to plug and 件 is this little something, this little entity, little software. So 插件 plug in. I think it translates really well.
All right. And then 在, is this at? Or
在 means again.
Preposition?
Doing something again.
Okay, so this
or,
one is...
moreover, you need to do something.
Okay. Then 自己, is this like myself?
Yes.
Okay. And then 调整.
调整.
And then this is adjust.
Adjust, 调整. 一下 is a little bit.
一下. What is future in the future?
未来.
Oh, how do you say in the past?
以前.
Oh, 以前, sorry.
You were thinking about 以下. 以下 means the following.
The following. Okay.
But 一下 is one time or a little bit.
Okay, a little bit. And then
参数.
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 Oh, 参数.
Yes.
Right. I think that's the parameters, right?
Yes.
And then 就, is this like
just?
Then? And then 可以 is can.
Or
work. Those words, a lot
works.
of new words there for me on this one.
Well, since we are a podcast, it is a little bit hard without actually looking at the Chinese characters. But if you can start learning characters, you would find that all the characters carry certain meanings. For example, 参数, 参, you can find it in 参考 as well. 参考 means reference or refer to, and 数, 数字, number, digit. So
reference number,
that's the parameter, because they are all related to certain things. When you adjust them, you change the parameter, you change the special effect here in this conversation. All these characters would have their own meanings, and once you start learning one after another and accumulating several of these characters, you would find new words easier to grasp as well.
Okay.
And then we have 那怎么能让这里的声音听起来更自然一些呢？
This is, then how can I make the sound here more natural? And then na is normally then. And then 怎么 is how. Nung is can.
Yep.
And then 让
Make.
That's make.
Make or let.
Or let. 这里 I think that's like here.
Here.
And then the, so like here's apostrophe s. And then 声音.
声音.
This
Voice.
one is it's not
Voice
sound.
or sounds.
Okay. Ting is what?
Listen.
Oh, okay. And then 听起来 is
Sounds
like.
Uh-huh.
And then 更 is this more?
Yep.
And then 自然, this is normally in a like natural setting, that's natural nature. So
Yes.
natural.
Yes.
Okay. And then 一些.
Uh-huh.
一些. I think you just told me what that meant.
I told you what 一下 meant.
Ah, okay, right.
一下 means a little or
little.
once. 一
Uh-huh.
些 can mean some,
Some.
but it can also mean a little, a
Really?
bit.
Okay, 一下, 一些. Oh, okay.
But you use them in different situations for sure. Here, it's like make it a little more natural, 自然一些. You can say 这条裙子更好看，它让你看起来更优雅一些. This makes you look a little more elegant compared to the other dress you just tried.
And elegant is 优
优雅
or 优雅.
elegant.
Okay.
And then 可以加入淡入和淡出效果，这样就不会显得很突兀了。
And that's, you can create fade in and fade out effects so that it won't seem that abrupt.
Uh-huh.
So you can. So 可以 is you can. 加入.
加入
This is add.
It is add. 加 carries the meaning of add, and 入 is in. So add something
Add in.
You can say 加入糖和盐，这道菜就做完了。You can add in some sugar and some salt, and then you finish the dish. See, 加
Also,
入
this can be used for cooking too.
Yes, it can be used for any kind of add in. Tangible ones and intangible ones.
Nice. It's a very useful word. then.
Yes.
And then 淡入.
淡入
淡入. This, I think, is like fade out or fade in. Which one is it?
淡入 and 淡出. 淡入 is fade in.
Fade in.
And 淡
And then
出 is
呵
fade out.
淡出, because true sounds like go.
Yeah, 出门 go out.
Okay.
It is that. And 入 is, we talked about, 加入 is add in. So 入 is in. You put something in. So
Oh,
淡
right.
入 fade in and 淡出 fade out. 淡 carries the meaning of light or soft or just like lower degree of something.
Okay.
So if you say 这个菜有点淡, this dish is a little light. You mean you want the taste to be heavier. You want it to be a little more salty. You want it to be a little more sweet. That's how it works.
All right.
淡
And then 效果.
效果
I think that was that effects?
It's effects because we talked about 特效 being 特殊效果, special effects. So
Right.
效果 effect.
And then 这样.
This
I think
way.
This way. And
就
就 then 不会
Will not.
will not. And then 显得.
显得
This is appear.
appear or seem. Yep.
And then 很 is very. And then 突
突兀.
woo.
Hard to pronounce, isn't it?
Just the tones. 突兀. This is abrupt.
Abrupt. 突兀, abrupt. It can be used not only in the sense of sounds, but if you interrupt someone and you bring up a complete irrelevant topic, you can also say, wow, that was random in English. But in Chinese, you can also say 很突兀的问题. That was an unexpected question. So 突兀 carries this meaning of unexpected, out of nothing, out of nowhere. 突兀. So it's not only, again, a sounds, but can also be used in other occasions, other situations.
好
That's the conversation. Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, let's do it. 哇，这个特效是这么做的，看起来很复杂。
其实并不麻烦，只需要下载一个插件，再自己调整一下参数就可以了。
那怎么能让这里的声音听起来更自然一些呢？
可以加入淡入和淡出效果，这样就不会显得很突兀了。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts by email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about how to be a vlogger and how to edit your videos. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony here in the studio. As a video editor, Tony, what are your tips? What are your secrets about doing your videos?
I don't think I have any secrets at this point. Because as you mentioned, I just kind of learned how to edit my own videos. But for me, it's just making something that has substance. Making something that resonates with you. Because if you're just doing things because you think other people will enjoy it, then it's a bit artificial and it won't really resonate, I think. So it's better to do something that you can really connect with.
Wow, really deep. Didn't expect that kind of answer. I was just thinking you would say something like, make the background music really pops and something. Well, not artificial,
that's part of it
but
too.
Yeah, the techniques. Because I don't edit videos too much, but I do edit audios.
Yeah.
And when I started to learn a little bit about video editing, 视频剪辑, I realized the storytelling technique is actually the same there. I mean, of course, the actual editing would be different because you're using different softwares, and of course there are different techniques for you to learn, but the 起承转合 in Chinese is all the same. So 起 is starting, 承 means you continue the story, 转 means there is a turn. In Chinese we say 转弯, that's make a turn, 左转, turn left, and 右转, turn right. So there should be that turn, that unexpected point, the didn't see that coming kind of plot happening in the story. And 和 means it all adds up. So 和 means the end. So 起承转合, that's the starting and the continue of the story, and then the climax of the story.
Right.
And then you've got the ending, 起承转合. That's all the same. That's like storytelling technique. It doesn't really matter if you are writing a story or if you're doing a podcast or if it's a video story. It's all related.
How do we say vlog?
Vlog in Chinese. Surprisingly, you say vlog. Happy surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I was expecting Dian Ying or some kind of...
Yes, you can of course say 短视频, short video.
Okay.
But I think vlog is like a video log. So, yeah, you say vlog in Chinese.
That's cool. I'm not gonna argue with that. It's easy.
So, how do you usually make a vlog? What's the steps that you would usually take?
Well, the concept, the idea, like what do I want to convey, first of all. So the idea is important. And then
创意 in Chinese,
so
we
plan, or how do we say plan?
计划.
计划.
You can also say 准备, remember?
准备.
准备, get ready.
Preparation.
Preparation.
And then the positioning of the camera.
Oh.
So the camera angles.
Camera angles. 摄像机角度. Literally camera angles.
角度
angles.
And then camera.
相机.
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 Okay. So camera angles is important. Plan is important. 计划. And lighting.
Lighting. 灯光.
灯光. And the lighting kind of has to be
perfect.
It has to be decent. That way
Okay.
the people you're shooting will look presentable. And then audio. Mics.
声音 mics. Yeah, 麦克风.
Yeah, microphone.
Yeah, we
It's the
call it
same word,
microphone.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So the microphone or the audio components need to be intact.
Uh-huh.
And
there you go. You've got to the video clips and you start editing.
oh, there's a lot of other variables.
Of course.
Variables, varied. What was that? We covered that. Complex, varied, 复杂.
复杂 is really complex.
非常复杂.
非常复杂, very complicated. Then I have a further question to ask you, because usually we would have all these kind of interviews, we would have a lot of stories out there that we need to cover. We're passionate about sharing those stories to our audience out there. But there are occasions that you just feel like you do not have the inspiration anymore. You're not inspired at that moment. You do not know how to start creating a video. What do you do then?
I think maybe that's not something that comes from you. It's something that's been handed to you. So that energy is not there. But if it comes from you, I think that you'll constantly feel energetic to do it. And also just visualizing the end product. I think that's what thrives me is I need to get this done, and it'll be I'm thinking about what it's going to be when it's finished. So yeah, I think setting the goal is really important. So 计划 or 目标
That's the goals, and 计划 is the plan. All very important. And for those of you out there who are thinking about becoming a vlogger, or at least sharing some of your videos online, but you feel like I am not inspired, 我没有灵感, I don't have the inspiration, 没有灵感. My suggestion here is pick something that you feel really passionate about and share the process of you doing the things that makes you happy, that makes you feel passionate, that gives you that thrive, gives you that drive to do what you're doing, and you can just shoot that process and you share it, because the energy within, the pure happiness, the joy you feel doing what you're passionate about is totally worth sharing. And all that's left would be the techniques that you need to learn to edit your video.
And before we end, could you just tell me, how do you say have a passion for?
热爱.
热爱.
热愛, 热 means hot, 愛 is love. If you have hot love for something, then you're really passionate about it.
Yeah, that goes in a lot of ways. Yes, agreed.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yo Honglin with Tony here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there.
And you can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese, and don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings.
感谢收听，我们下次再见。
再见。